fuck is happening?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can see this matchup exclusively on pay-per-view from Atlanta's Omni on Monday night, December the 28th. We encourage you to call your local cable company and order this pay-per-view spectacular. We're joined now by Sting, and after striking Big Van Vader with a 2x4, seeing that it had very little effect on him, Sting, have you had any second thoughts?
Well, Rossi, I know better than anybody else at World Championship Wrestling just how big and bad Big Van Vader is. This is the guy that ends wrestling careers, but I don't have time to think about that right now because with that match and defending my Battle Bowl title the night of Starrcade, I'll be ready for the fight of my life, and don't you forget it.
It's certainly obvious that Sting is fully aware that this is the biggest challenge of his career. And it will happen on Monday night, December the 28th, exclusively on pay-per-view from the Omni in Atlanta. We're being joined now by Big Van Vader. And Vader, I've got to ask you a very simple question. Just how important is it to you to win the King of Cable Championship?
Well, Mr. Jim Ross, Vader has more world championships than any wrestler alive or dead. And yes, I would like to add this to my collection. But more importantly, I want to hurt Sting. I want to end Sting's career. I want to inflict all the pain I can on Sting.
What a matchup it's going to be.
Yo, this is Slammer, and you're listening to Primo, DB, and AJ at the Sit Down Marks. And what you gonna do when Slammer Mania runs wild on you, brother?
Ladies and gentlemen, the following Sit Down Marks podcast is set for one fall. Introducing first, your heel host that is always helping to spread the good word of wrestling, Dirty Bird. Next up, the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, editor and producer, Primo. And finally, your co-host, straight out of your mama's kitchen, driver of the grip wagon, straight off a cliff, assistant editor and producer, AJ.
What is up out there in Mark's land? It is episode number 69 of the Sit Down Marks podcast.
Nice.
69.
Yeah, right? We made it. Episode number 60. Does 69 still mean like what it used to mean?
I mean, it
doesn't.
I don't.
Does it
it
stop
didn't
meaning
stop.
that?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was just
in my world, it does.
I might have been out, anyway, moving on.
It's two letters, a 6 and a 9. Okay.
It is.
Listen to old man Dirty over there.
And Primo said letters.
Oh man, that made me sound real intelligent.
We are all idiots today.
Welcome everybody to the best kept secret in wrestling podcast. Thank you, TW Ward, of course, the voice of Memphis wrestling. You ready to talk a little wrestling today, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk a little bit of wrestling today. There's a bunch of wrestling I want to talk about, actually.
Just a little bit. Just one or two wrestlings.
Those two guys right there, my co-host. One, formerly from your mama's kitchen, formerly the waitress crippler, currently the one and only AJ. Welcome, sir. How you doing today?
Did I move out of your mama's kitchen? Did I have to vacate the premises?
I mean, you didn't have to, but I just said formally because formally I used to say it, but now TW Ward says it for me. So, so I didn't know if he was still there. So.
I got nervous for a second. I thought I was going to have to be kitchenless.
You didn't know you got evicted.
No,
that's between you and your mama. I don't care.
Not my mom. Your mama. Your mother.
And the 3-time Kurt Angle Trophy champion, Primo. What's going on, my brother?
Hello. Episode 69. Here we are.
Nice.
Ready to talk some wrestling.
Let's do it. First of all, let's let old Big Brief bring us in here.
It's the Beefster here. And I'm telling you, you better turn into the Sit Down Marks podcast with AJ, Dirty Bird, and Primo. And if you don't, Beef's gonna have to hit you with that beefy bomb. Tune in, folks. They won't disappoint you.
The old briefy bomb, right?
The briefy bomb.
Hit you with that old. It's a very quick bomb.
Yes.
It's like bloop, bloop.
It's very brief.
Very brief.
Very
yes.
brief. It's
Very
the
short.
briefy bomb.
The briefy bomb.
Oh my God, it's going to be one of those kind of pods. It's going to be tripping all over our tongues the whole time here. So thank everybody that's sticking with us though and listening on all those podcast platforms. You know which one they are, or if it's Friday, SportsWire Online Radio must be where it's at. We are usually on right before the Thomas Bryce Show and about 3 or 4 times throughout the week. Check us out on SportsWire Online Radio. If you want to check us out, man, check us out on any of those platforms, or please, we'd ask that you leave us a review on whatever platform you listen from. We really appreciate it. All that good stuff here. So let's get to let's kick off this pod here, Primo. Let's see what the old jukebox has today, my dude.
Well, my dude.
My dude.
Oh, Jukity box, let's hear it, baby.
Hey, y'all. Can somebody call my mama? It's about to get funky up in here. Know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Somebody call my mama. Somebody call my mama.
Somebody
That's right.
Somebody call my mama.
Somebody call AJ's mama because she kicked him out of the kitchen.
Man,
Not
I was
my
gonna
mama.
say, a lot of mama talk early here.
Yeah. Well, she's kicking people out
We
of
got
kitchens
to call
and-
the mamas.
So the Funkadactyls, Naomi and Cameron, Naomi,
Cameron and
Shawn Michaels, Cameron the Janetti.
Yes. Very, very good.
I would say I like what was Brodus Clay? He wasn't Sweet Tea. That was Lord Tensai. Oh fuck! But he was the Funkasaurus.
Yeah.
But I liked Xavier Woods' iteration better with the Funkadactyls.
Xavier Woods does everything better than everyone.
Oh, I agree.
100% of the time. And I'll have words with anyone who disagrees with me. I won't.
Words, people.
Briefy bomb.
He's one of the 3 people I would invite to Thanksgiving.
Xavier Woods?
Yeah,
I would invite Xavier Woods to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'd invite him. We had this talk around Thanksgiving.
I would too, but he wouldn't be my top 3.
No, he'd be in my 3. It was him. I think I said him, Stone Cold, and AJ Styles.
Okay.
I'd play video games and have intellectual conversations with Xavier.
Sure, yeah, he would be a heck of a gamer, man. It would be fun to play games with. AJ, what's happening? Any history this day, sir?
Not very much. That's it. Moving on.
That's fair. Fair?
I did find a couple of things. Well, first, insert Dirty Bird's old joke here. There's nothing going on anywhere before 1980, but in 1980, on this day, which is June 22nd, the NWA World Tag Team Championship.
1980.
Oh,
Acknowledge.
No.
The NWA World there we go, Tag Team Championship changed hands when Jimmy Snuka and Ray Stevens defeated Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood in Greensboro, North Carolina. I only wanted to mention this because Jimmy Snuka should never have any belts ever because he's a bad person. Allegedly. We're going to skip to 1996 at ECW Hardcore Heaven, where Sabu defeated Rob Van Dam in the main event.
RVD.
This was notable because a very young Chris Jericho pinned. It always makes you laugh. Pitbull number 2.
Oh,
here we go again.
Pitbull number 2.
He always finds his way into your stories.
Well, what's worse is Pitbull number 2 had a belt in this match. He was the ECW World Television Champion. And so Chris Jericho took the ECW World Television Champion off of Pitbull number fucking 2. Like, fuck off, Pitbull number.
So
Where's Pitbull number 1?
Let's talk about this.
I
know where Pitbull number 3 is. The singer, the
Mr.
guy,
305, Mr. Worldwide.
He's number 3 then. So we know that. So he's going to be number.
He's still current.
I hate both of you for bringing up
Pitbull.
Pitbull, yes, Mr. Worldwide.
Mr.
No one
Worldwide.
cares, Pitbull.
Yeah.
All of your songs sound the same. Shut the fuck up.
He's number 3, so we just got to find who number 1 was.
He's making money making those same sounding songs.
I know, and I hate his guts. I also want to mention that's basically it for this day in wrestling history. There's nothing. Tomorrow and the next day, there's all kinds of stuff. Also, one of my favorites of all time was born today. I'm going to bring back one quick birthday. John Tenta, otherwise known as Earthquake, otherwise known as the Shark in WCW, was born today in a long time ago. I don't even know when he was born. But yeah, he's one of my all-time favorites. I love Earthquake so much. Wonderful. Whenever I go and watch wrestling, like retro wrestling, I love it when Earthquake makes an appearance. He's so good. So happy birthday, John Tenta, even though you're dead, but still happy birthday.
Yeah. Remembered him.
He's your favorite person.
A lot.
My birthday's not until next month.
No, it is. It's next month. And then we'll say happy birthday to you.
Let's talk headlines, man. I think we have a lot to talk about here.
Oh boy.
Hey, yeah. So let's go wrestling in the headlines. Let's get the sad news out of the way first. The wrestling world is saddened by the passing of both Dave Hebner and Tim White. Both of these men were referees in various promotions and very well known. They both passed within this last week.
Yeah, it's crazy. We lost 2 referees, in pretty
short amount of time, yeah.
Short amount of time, yeah. And pretty prominent referees too. Yeah. It's all these guys, or both these guys involved in huge matches, I think it's probably safe to say in referee land, Hebner is like to referee what McMahon is to wrestling. You know what I mean? All the Hebners that have been involved in refereeing. So, that was pretty sad to see. And I especially remember Tim White a lot. It was sad to see both of those. Big loss there in the wrestling world for sure.
Did you know that he suffered a severe shoulder injury once? Tim White did during a Hell in a Cell match between Chris Jericho and Triple H in 2002.
Yeah, I remember. Now that you say that, I remember kind of something like that happening. He got hurt in a spot or something like that, didn't he? Yeah.
All right, moving on. So via Sean Ross Sapp on Twitter, AEW's Forbidden Door will be broadcast in select theaters. So all you marks out there in Marky Mark land, go check your local listings for more information around your town. See if Forbidden Door will be broadcasting at your local theater.
I have to admit, I did look around to see if Forbidden Door was playing around here anywhere, and I think the closest one is like an hour and a half away, which I'm debating on driving.
What town? What town?
It was Joliet, I want to say.
Yeah. Well, you drive an hour and a half, wait as much gas as it is, you might as well pay for it and watch it at home.
True. Very true. But I have no but for that.
I love a good theater experience, though.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, it would be fun to be in there with a bunch of wrestling fans. That would be fun.
That's something I've never ever done.
But really? it could be awesome. It could be meh, and it could suck.
That's something I'll say. I've
never there a bunch of assholes.
I've never watched like a UFC fight or a big wrestling pay-per-view at like a big gathering, like a Buffalo Wild Wings or any sports bar, or in a movie theater. Like that's something I should do one of these days, just to get that.
You call
energy.
Yourself a wrestling fan?
Well, I've been to the event, live in person.
Sure.
I've never done that, while eating wings or something at a restaurant.
Right. You didn't bring your belt and put it on the table.
Yet.
Now he will.
Yeah, that's right. We're right here, baby. I'll slap this sucker on the table.
Nice.
My son told me I'm a champion.
I am so excited. The reason I would think about driving an hour and a half to sit in a theater with a bunch of smelly marks is because I don't know the last time I was this excited for a pay-per-view. I'm so psyched for this pay-per-view coming up. I'll talk about that more.
I am too, but I mean, if it was closer than an hour and a half, maybe like 30 minutes, I would drive. But otherwise, yeah.
I'll tell you my excitement meter. After
this is a must-watch, I think. This is a must-watch. It's
a must-watch for sure. But we'll go through the card later on. Then I'll reevaluate my excitement meter.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
So next up, we got. Speaking of Forbidden Door.
What the fuck?
Did it just open behind you?
Did
the Forbidden Door just
I was
open
watching
behind you?
Doctor Strange recently, and all the portals just opened. Oh man, that's $10, Disney. So Fight.tv is offering AEW Plus subscribers 20% off Forbidden Door. So it might actually be worth staying home and paying on Fight TV. If you've already purchased your the pay-per-view via Fight TV, you'll receive 4 bonus credits to your account.
Ooh, everybody likes bonus credits.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
man.
Yes.
I used my bonus credits from audible.com, but that's $10 audible.com. By the way, our podcast can be found on audible.com.
Yes.
But I used my 2 free monthly credits to get John Moxley's book, even though I wanted to hear him read it now.
Narrated by the man himself.
How's that experience, by the way?
Oh, I love it.
Is it fun listening to him?
Yeah, it's like so. I've already read it.
Sure.
So I know kind of what's going on already, but it's almost a whole different experience listening to him talk.
Yeah.
I got some
I
road
think I'm
trips
going to get
coming
it
up,
too.
so yeah. So I'm gonna have to check it out. Like I can get down with that listening to him.
Fightful reported earlier this week that People Power John Laurinaitis was placed on administrative leave and has been replaced by Bruce Pritchard as an interim head of talent relations.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I do too. I'm not a big fan of Mr. Laurinaitis.
Well, yeah. And that's obviously interim is the key word there, so we'll see if that becomes permanent or short-lived. Next up, via Ric Flair's Twitter. He says, my last match, which is his last match. It's called, like that's what he's calling it, my last match. Press conference is being held tomorrow, which is June 23rd. It'll be live on Fight TV, his Twitter, and on the To Be the Man pod at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Excuse me.
No, you're
so
good.
if that's something you're into, then go listen to Ric Flair talk about the last time he's going to have a match.
I don't know if I want that to happen.
Next up, go ahead.
So it's like like he's of course he's my favorite all time, and I want to support him. But is this a money grab? You know, is this because he does really want one more match?
Did he just get divorced again or something?
He's taking bumps. Yeah.
The man has a pacemaker. He should not be taking any bump whatsoever.
Right. Yeah. You know what I mean. So he's just I know it's probably hard to let go. He wants to wrestle one more time.
Would you want to do a chop to someone who has a pacemaker in their chest?
I would move to the other side and chop him.
just chop him on the back.
Chop him on the side of the head. Yeah.
What do you think about that? Like that's been an ongoing theme, over the past 20 years or so. Well, no, I wouldn't say 20 years. Longer than that. It's been going on forever. So-called retirement matches, for instance, Shawn and Ric Flair.
Sure.
WrestleMania, 24, 20? I don't even remember when that was.
Which is the best retirement match in history.
And then he went on to have these dreadful matches in TNA. And
oh, my God.
It's just like...
horrendous.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, he's not the only one. Mick Foley did the same thing.
Fucking...
At this point...
Terry Funk did it like 50 times.
Right.
At this point, we should just look at it as a match stipulation. Just look at it as a headline of a match.
Yeah.
Don't take it seriously.
This is your retirement match from WWE.
Right. Or for now, this time.
Yeah, for now.
During this feud.
Like when Triple H ended Mick Foley's career, but he came back and, wrestled against Randy Orton.
Oh, boy.
All right, and up next, via WrestlingNews.co, Rhea Ripley is apparently dealing with a brain injury.
Yeah, explain this? This horrified me.
That's all I got. So,
A brain injury.
A brain injury. That does suck, though.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I was gonna say that's all I've seen. It just said brain injury.
And yeah, I didn't get any further details on that other than brain injury, which is terrible.
So are they immediately going to disband Judgment Day?
Unfortunately, I feel like now, obviously, in real life, we hope Rhea Ripley gets better. That's the number one priority. But as a talking wrestling, yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? And number one, also too, I just seen that Damian Priest and Finn Balor were fighting two people, I don't remember who they were, on main event.
That's where I love to see my boy Finn on the fucking C show.
So I don't see this Judgment Day stuff going on for, it's just basically what's going. Now they're a tag team.
I think what would probably be smart right now is do a Finn versus Edge feud.
Yes,
and let Damian kind of be in the corner of Finn throughout this. Yes, and then
pull Paul Heyman and switch on him in the last second.
And then that'll kind of take the the idea of the thought of Rhea not being there, and then when she comes back, then they'll be strong once again. Obviously, Finn has to go over in this feud.
Yeah,
we'll talk more about Judgment Day when we talk about Raw.
Oh boy, yeah.
But so on top of Rhea Ripley's brain injury, aside from her, and obviously we do hope she gets well. Mm-hmm. There are also a ton of AEW injuries right now.
Yeah, a lot.
I didn't even write them all down, but there's a bunch of them out there. It's just
the injury bugs going around.
It's stinky.
Stinky.
Hit us with a couple, 4 or 5. Who's hurt?
Potentially Daniel O'Brien.
Brian Danielson.
Brian Danielson, correct. That was a test. It really was. There's a bunch. Bunny.
Not Bunny.
Potentially Matt Hardy.
Yeah, Matt Hardy.
Yep. Top Flight.
Darius Martin.
Again. Yeah, he's hurt again.
Lee Johnson. What in the world, dude?
Darby's one match away from a injured list every time he goes out.
He's always one match away. Well, from death, really. He's one match away from death.
And apparently Adam Cole also. Apparently Adam Cole's recovering, but he hasn't wrestled in a little bit now since the Owen Hart thing, right?
Adam Cole, baby.
So maybe that's...
He's still there, making appearances.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's just kind of there just every time Hangman comes out, and he's like, where did you get off? Every time Hangman comes out.
There it is.
Basically, there's a shitload of AEW injuries is the point here.
Yes, there are. It makes me sad.
Good thing they got a huge roster.
Oh my God. Right. That's another thing that makes me sad.
And last was something I saw right before we went live here, is Fightful has reported that Foley's baby boy, Dewey Foley, has departed from the WWE.
Dewey Foley? I forgot that he was even in.
He was a writer, wasn't
he? Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I forgot about it.
Oh boy.
Weird.
Foley's baby boy is left.
Yeah, Mrs. Foley's baby boy.
Left the building.
All right. So, that is this day in wrestling headlines.
Thank you, sir. All right, AJ, let's see what you've got for us this week in his lovely little segment. Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
AJ's dumb thing. What's it going to be this time? Broadway play? AJ's ravioli of the week? Monster truck? What about socks? Yeah, socks. How about that, asshole? AJ's socks of the week.
Hell yeah, I'm a big socks guy.
You know what?
I like to wear socks.
You know what, robot asshole guy? Fine. We'll do AJ's socks of the week. How about about that, assholes? Little Roddy Piper socks, you fuckers.
Yeah.
It does have Roddy Piper socks. I thought it was a work. It's not a work.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at his big beefy arms on them socks.
Oh my God. And more
wanted-
impressive, you're standing on a swivel chair.
He's got the hot rod socks on.
I'm wearing the hot rod socks, and I'm wearing the hot rod socks. That was my Roddy Piper impression.
That was pretty good. I figured out what it was.
Pretty good. So yeah, I ordered these socks. So because I was looking for stupid things to have, and so I ordered these. And honestly, look, it even like I can't do this. I'm gonna die. Well, look, it even has the little look like no one's. It's an audio podcast. It even has like the little thing that Scotsmen wear in front of their kilts.
Oh, the
level of detail on these socks. He's wearing a watch on his socks or on his arm. Why would they include
People
that
from
detail?
Scotland are murdering us right now.
Yeah, but you know.
But you remember, Roddy Piper's from the entire country of Scotland.
Yeah, he's from Scotland, like just Scotland.
Yeah,
and
those are dope, though.
They are. I fucking love them. I'm not gonna lie. I've worn them every night since I got them, and
wow.
Just every now and then, I'm like, "Hey, hot rod."
Surprised they're still white.
I'll tell you this though, are they comfortable though? Most gimmick socks that I buy and wear are usually not comfortable. They're like
no, they are. Yeah. They are decidedly not.
They normally
comfortable.
Are not, but you know,
they're like made out of like fiberglass and steel wool.
Yeah, so they're itchy.
That's what it feels like.
I got all kinds of gimmick socks. Okay.
Do you have Roddy Piper socks?
These are fucking peanut socks.
Woodstock.
They also,
but I have a bunch of them anyway. But they're all super thin, you know.
The same company had Ultimate Warrior socks, which I was gonna also order.
You gotta run everywhere in those.
Yeah, I know. I don't have that energy. They also had Hulk Hogan socks, which I kind of want to send a pair to
right.
I couldn't bear to purchase anything with Hulk Hogan's fucking likeness on it, though. So I went with Roddy Piper, and these are my new. If anyone invites me to a wedding, these will be the socks that I have on at said wedding. Just so you know.
Makes sense why Titan Man said socks of the week. So
yeah, what an asshole that guy is. Jesus Christ.
Laura and Joe's wedding, you're wearing Roddy Piper socks.
Yes, I am. You're goddamn fucking right, I am.
Even better if you wore them up to your knees and wore like a kilt with it, so you could see them.
Well, what's gonna be great is I'm in that wedding, and so I'm gonna get like flood pants, and so to show. It's just gonna be
hot rod staring.
Yes, to show off my hot rod socks like the entire time.
You got to have the pouch thing too hanging down.
Sorry, Joe and Laura, but you're getting Roddy Piper socks.
This is their warning. You're telling them ahead of time.
Very good.
They have a chance to rebuttal.
I'm actually standing on Laura's side too. So.
I love that. love the socks. Love the that your segment is vouching off into the retail merchandise area of clothing, and it's not just. We've evolved from movie clips, and
Robot Man is a dick though. So if he could tone down the
I'm excited for next week's ravioli though.
Ravioli of the week.
Next week's Broadway play.
All right, it's time to talk about what we're going to talk about. AJ and I get ready to head to Cape Championship Wrestling this weekend.
Yes.
So CCW superstar Chris Slammer joins us to talk about the huge card this weekend, his career as a UPS driver, and he's got some fun stories to tell about that, so stick around for that later. Also, Promo School returns once again. We got the Doctor of Thuganomics bringing us one, so John Cena, you know who it is, he's holding class this week, and then obviously our weekly reactions, including Impact Wrestling Slammiversary that Primo's going to kick us off with coming up here very, very shortly. But lastly, I want to tell you we're going to review Sting versus Vader from Starrcade 1992, the famous Wrestle Bowl craziness that was pay-per-view. We'll be talking about that later. So let's get it kicked off here, Primo. Let's have some fun, guys.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big Beef.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. And you're listening
to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right. Before we talk about CCW, reminder: Iron Spirit Pro in Bloomington, Illinois, is we're all set for a big summer show Saturday, July 16th. If you're in the area, come check us out. But let's talk about this weekend, AJ. We're about to hit the road, man, on Saturday to CCW Super Show in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Spoiler alert, well, not really, but Chris Slammer told us that this is their WrestleMania. This is their big show of the year.
This is their big event, and I am fucking psyched to drive to.
They always bring a big guest in, and this year's big guest is Killer Cross with Scarlett Bordeaux. So pumped about that, and he's doing a big meet and greet. F&M Memorabilia is bringing them in, and he's also going to be on the card, or they both together are going to be on the card, I'm assuming. So this is going to be our second time going out there, and they're expecting a real big crowd, man. I think it's going to be a fun day out there.
I can't wait. It's like a 4-hour drive for us?
Yep. Yeah, it's 4 hours pretty much straight west.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Get on the road a little bit, go out and see, because it's been a while since we've seen some live wrestling. So I can't wait. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm ready to go too, man. I'm excited. Our buddy Dylan, this is his home promotion, so he's going to be there. So we're going to be seeing Dylan too, man. So we're pumped about that. And I mean, a lot of big matches are happening. We got I think it's their champion, trending Trent Daniels is wrestling Cheeseburger, and the old Cheeseburger from the old ROH television champion. You know, he was had a lot of success there, so he's going to be there as well. And they've got a lot of big matches, so I'm looking forward to that card. Now the show is at 6 p.m. Central Time. They're opening doors at 4 because they're expecting a big crowd, and they want to give everybody plenty of time to get in there. So it's a really cool arena. I'm expecting a really fun day out there. So thanks again to CCW, and we'll see everybody out there this Saturday.
Hell yes.
Let's do it. All right, Primo, if you want to get us kicked off, man, let's talk about Impact Wrestling first this week, so we can talk about that and get to that Slammiversary card.
All right, so Impact, we'll go through this real quick. First, the cool things that happened were, number one, we had the reunion of the Aces and Eights with Wes Briscoe, Garrett Bischoff, and D'Lo Brown, baby.
Yeah, how about D'Lo coming back, huh?
Dude, D'Lo.
With the best on, too.
The number one, I've always liked the lowdown, his finisher. Mm-hmm. He can deliver that thing. And he did on Impact, and it was really cool to see. So, yeah, with the vest.
yeah, the most limber neck in wrestling.
That's
ever.
Right. He has a very nimble neck.
God, man, that thing. I mean, it was amazing the way he could throw that thing around.
You're messing with the real deal now. So, right. Nick Aldis joined the Impact Originals for the Slammiversary match versus Honor No More.
Nice addition.
As he was formerly known as, of course, back in the day, TNA, probably 11, 12, 13 time frame. He was Magnus.
Yeah. Who's his wife?
Who is his wife? You'd like
Hardcore Country!
Mrs. Mickey James.
Mickey James. Very nice.
And Josh Alexander and Eric Young had their contract signing, which, of course, contract signings never go to plan. And other than that, Impact was mostly a bunch of build-up, backstage interviews and video vignettes because Slammiversary was 2 days away.
Yep, it was. A lot of build-up.
So, let's get to that then, shall we? Some Impact Slammiversary, the 20th edition. I have a bunch of notes here. Excuse me. We're at the Nashville Fairgrounds at the Asylum in Tennessee there. The pre-show had Rich Swann retaining the Impact Digital Media Championship against the most professional wrestler Brian Myers. Pre-show also included the Reverse Battle Royale, which was won by Shark Boy, which, by the way, don't get me to try to explain the rules of the Reverse Battle Royale because still don't know. But yeah, the Reverse Battle Royale is extremely confusing, and yeah, I've never understood it, and I think I've heard that they asked wrestlers before, and they even the wrestlers weren't sure what was going on.
So it's essentially, right, everyone fights to get in the ring.
In the ring.
It's so dumb. And like, it's one of my favorite gimmick matches because obviously you go up and you just jump in the ring. Like, and you're in the match. But people will like stand around like outside looking for someone to hit as opposed to just like jumping in the ring. Like, it's
yeah, they're like, they can't just race in the ring.
No, it is kayfabe destroying this stipulation.
Right. And yeah, I agree. It's a silly one. It's like they like doing things in reverse, kind of like the King of the Mountain or the Queen of the Mountain match.
A little bit, yeah. That's okay. Sure, Vince Russo.
So that brings us to the main card, which we opened up with the Ultimate X match for the X Division Championship. It's usually what Ultimate X matches do. So Speedball Mike Bailey defeated Ace Austin, Trey Miguel, Kenny King, Alex Zane, and Andrew Everett to become your new X Division champion. Speedball Mike Bailey has kind of had like, he's been grinding lately. He's been everywhere.
Bit of a run.
Yeah.
Unexpected. I like him too.
He's on a roll right now, for sure. Next up, we had Motor City Machine Guns voted the most impactful team in Impact history.
I agree, because they're amazing.
I definitely agree with that too.
Yeah. Fantastic
After that,
team.
we had the Icon Sting. He sent a message congratulating Impact on their 20 years.
That was pretty cool.
Next up, you had the Knockouts Tag Team Championship, in which Rosemary and Ty Valkyrie defeated Tennille Dashwood and Madison Rain to become your new Knockouts Tag Team Champions.
You know, I'm not picking very well in this particular show.
I just think that's such an odd pairing.
It really is. I certainly didn't think they're going to be tag team champs. Seems out of nowhere.
Right.
Fucking weird.
Right. Yeah. A little weird.
Right after this, we had another congratulatory message sent by none other than Kurt Angle.
Awesome.
Yep. Pretty cool. I liked all of these. Next up, after that, you had the Monsters Ball match between Sami Callihan, in which he defeated Moose. Which we knew Sami was going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Monster Ball matches without Abyss still weird me out a little bit.
Yeah, I do agree.
Really do.
Monsters Ball matches are among my favorite TNA gimmicks.
I do love the Monsters
They
Ball
aren't
matches.
authentic unless Abyss is in it.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't count.
I like those, and I like the Lethal Lockdown matches. Those are cool.
Yeah.
I was reading about Sami Callihan too. You remember that time when Moose picked him up and he had him like sideways and he kind of slammed him on the apron of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy said later on after that match that he goes, when I fell to the ground, he goes, I like felt my spine rattle when he did that. He's like, it was like, it just felt gross. He's like,
sounds gross.
Yeah, it sounds gross too. Yeah, I was like, ugh, made me hurt right
Not how
there.
that's supposed to be.
Yeah. But I'm glad he's back.
Blah.
Next up, after the Monsters Ball match, you had the Impact Tag Championship, in which the Good Brothers defeated the Briscoes to become your new champs. But what was cool was not only did the Good Brothers win and become your new tag team champions, but afterwards, a classic TNA tag team came out, none other than America's Most Wanted.
Yeah. We called that one, didn't we?
We did. We did.
So Wildcat Chris Harris was already there. Yeah, that was dope.
Sorry about your damn
look.
Chris Harris looks not the best.
I feel like that's okay. I'm saying he may not be in ring shape, but I'm saying maybe that's why they just toasted the beers.
Yeah,
America's Most Wanted didn't like attack them or nothing.
Yeah,
They weren't showing they were there to go on a run or nothing. They're just kind of
Like he got a dad bod like me.
He didn't want to take any bumps.
Right. I mean, he's in there with the Good Brothers and Jay Briscoe and his brother, the meteorologist.
Yeah, the meteorologist.
Oh, those are the funniest. If you haven't seen them, they're so funny. Impact afterwards, this was really cool. Impact after that match, they honored Mike Tenay and Don West as one of the best commentary duos. Excuse me, Mike Tenay and Don West is a tag team.
Tag team, yeah, going on a run.
Right.
Filthy old fucker Mike Tenay taking bumps.
Mike Tenay. Oh man! After that, Dixie Carter revealed the final partner for the Impact Originals was none other than Davey Richards.
Davey Richards,
formerly one half of the American Wolves.
Yeah.
Which is even crazier. Exactly. That's what I was getting to. Is the other half is on Honor No More.
Yep.
Good
that was a cool moment.
storyline.
So we had.
I was gonna say it was a nice. I was just gonna say it was a nice touch with Dixie.
Good touch, very good touch.
As well, yeah.
That's for the fans.
Sure, I liked it.
Yeah, we appreciated it.
You know, where we're like, oh, that's a thing. That's a thing. They were, you know.
I remember when they did that stuff.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, speaking of that match, we had the Impact Originals: Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Frankie Kazarian, Nick Aldis, and Davey Richards defeating Honor No More. And during this match, actually, this is a cool moment. Remember earlier we said Dave Hebner had passed away? Well, This was after the fact. And during this match, referee Brian Hebner was knocked down, and Earl Hebner came down to make the count for the victory.
Yeah, the old twin magic Hebners.
Yeah, that was a good touch.
You know what this match needed? Christopher Daniels.
Fallen Angel?
Mm-hmm.
This pay-per-view
would make
needed
sense because of Kazarian.
Mm-hmm.
This pay-per-view needed him.
But if you want to talk about Fortune 4, then you got to talk about the next segment in which AJ Styles sent a message reminiscing about his time with TNA.
How cool was that? Like, he obviously wasn't there.
Oh yeah,
in person, but
cut on his head.
How
I just finished a match.
How fucking cool was it that one, WWE let him do that, and two, that he got to say something to
super cool.
The TNA. It was awesome.
Super cool, and that he got to acknowledge like everything that existed.
Mm-hmm.
That he did, and that he was there with Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, the works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like this too. That it's WWE saying, "Hey, we acknowledge that you did wrestle other places before us. It's not like we,
That is what made me an AJ Styles fan. That's where I discovered him.
Sure.
I also think it might have a lot to do with the fact that it might have just slipped through the cracks at WWE since they have so much other shit currently going on.
I thought that at first, and then I got to thinking about it. And in this message that he gave, he thanked WWE for allowing him the time to do this.
Weird.
So I was like, you think they made him say that? Like, we'll let you do it, but you have to say we let you.
Yeah, we allowed you to do it. Yeah, I can see that.
So, next up, Queen of the Mountain match, which is the first ever Queen of the Mountain. We usually have the King of the Mountain, which if you don't know, there's a cage. I'm not sure, I forget the rules about the cage, but there's also the belt. You, instead of taking it off the rung, you got to put the belt on the rung up the ladder.
That's so dumb.
Like the reverse battle royal we talked about earlier.
In order to win this belt, I have to give away.
This was my favorite match of the pay-per-view.
This actually was the best match of the
pay-per-view. It was,
though.
by far.
So you actually have to grab the belt you're winning and go put it up on the thing. So anyway, the Queen of the Mountain match, the first time they've done it with the TNA Impact knockouts, excuse me. Jordan Grace, who I called to win, wins the title, defeating Tasha Steelz, Deonna Purrazzo, Chelsea Green, and Mia Yim.
Yeah, it was a good call.
Yeah. I just had a feeling she's been on a roll just like Mike Bailey. He's been on a roll.
Chelsea and Deanna's big bump was nice.
Yeah, it was.
On the ladder when it fell over. Yeah. But this was awesome, man. Honestly, I was in awe of this whole match because these girls they laid it on the line, man. They went at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went at it, man. This was a great match. I totally enjoyed it. This is the best women's match I've seen in a long time, honestly.
It should have been like obviously hindsight, but It would have been really cool if this match, as good as it was the main event, because it was really, really good.
I was cool with any of those girls winning it, honestly, especially after I seen it go for a while. I was like, whoa. But yeah, I loved it.
Speaking of female competitors, after this, Gail Kim was moted. She was moted. Forgive me, Gail Kim. Gail Kim was voted most impactful knockout in Impact history, which I gotta agree with that. Gail Kim Gail Kim is obviously, was she first ever Knockouts champion?
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, she's just, she carried that division for a long time.
She carried women's wrestling for a long time. The only reason women's wrestling is what it is because of Gail Kim, in my opinion.
She's great.
Yes.
Yeah, she's one of those pillar type women. Pillars,
Yeah. After that, we had the main event, which was the Impact World Championship. Josh Alexander, of course, we knew he was going to defeat Eric Young to retain the title, but it was still a good match. That was your main event. Like I said, like AJ mentioned, actually, I wouldn't have minded the Queen of the Mountain match being the main, but it was the co-main. So beggars can't be choosers. This was
yes, we can.
We knew the outcome of this match. We didn't know the income of the
Sure. That's the best argument for that.
The outcome. The Queen of the Mountain. Man, words are not our strong suit tonight, people.
I don't know why I just did that.
Yeah, but that was Slammiversary as a whole. I gotta say, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the callbacks. Speaking of the callbacks, in the Impact World Championship match, Josh Alexander and Eric Young did a bunch of finishers from previous years. I think they did Black Hole Slam. There's a bunch of them that I can't think of right off the top of my head. Yeah, but they were doing a bunch of callbacks to old TNA.
Did they do the Styles Clash?
Yes. Josh Alexander did. Clash. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
So that was pretty neat. And
this was a very good pay-per-view. I love this, man. This was good.
Yeah. I'm very nostalgic in that way too. So.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Great wrestling mixed with nostalgia. That's a nice pay-per-view for me. I love it. Mm-hmm. I know they can't do it all the time, and it was Slammiversary, so and I love the old people coming back, but this was great, man. I love this pay-per-view.
Me too. It was fantastic.
It was wild to see, and I was just thinking about it, to see AJ Styles in that capacity. He's been in WWE for 6 years now. It's and obviously he's already made a Hall of Fame career in WWE.
Absolutely.
So, but people, I hope no one forgets, what he did in Ring of Honor and TNA before he ever even got there.
Sure.
So, but it's also wild too, because last time we saw AJ Styles in TNA, he didn't have the soccer mom hair yet. He still had he was just growing out the long hair.
Yeah.
He was doing the lone wolf gimmick, and he was in New Japan and doing all that jazz, and he was with the Bullet Club and stuff. So, man, there's just a whole era there, late 2010s, late 2000s, early 2010s that just I miss because I didn't enjoy it enough. I feel like that's a common theme in wrestling or in general, entertainment in general, is we might bitch about it a lot, but there's a bunch of good shit going on right now that we don't pay attention to until 5 years later. And they were man, I wish I would have paid more attention to that.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
Even think about that era in Impact. There was all that awesomeness, but then there was the absolute nonsense too. Do you guys remember whenever they had electrified cage matches?
Yeah.
And anytime anyone would touch him, it'd be bzzz.
Yeah.
They had nonsense like that all the time.
That's up
too.
there with the Harley Race stun gun.
Yes, but they had at the same time they had world class caliber.
Oh, their performers were top notch.
Yeah, it's amazing. I miss it.
So, that was Slammiversary and Impact as a whole. For me, like I said, I enjoyed that pay-per-view. Next, moving on to NWA Power. Tyrus, the cool thing, I'm actually going to talk about this segment last. We'll move on to these other two things first. Nick Aldis, this is on the heels of Always Ready, by the way. Nick Aldis says that Trevor Murdoch knows where to find him if he wants to beat him, become real champion. Which, by the way, he did actually pin Nick Aldis. To become the champion, but national treasure.
Whatever.
So Camille and Kylan King's feud seems to be far from over. As she says, Kylan King says, the King says she will be the next and one to end Camille's reign. And then the main segment I did want to talk about was Tyrus opened up the show with an interview and discussed Mim's injury from Always Ready. He said
is on a roll.
So he said that he defended the title 7 times so he could catch the title in if he wanted to. So if you guys don't know this, or if the marks out there in Sit Down Markland don't know this, NWA has a Lucky 7 rule. It was made a few years ago where if the TV champion defends successfully 7 times, it's kind of like that wild card rule where they can actually cash it in for a world title match.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I remember that. It's just nothing that ever really jumps out at me. Starks, I remember when he was in the TV champ, he was pretty close to it, or he got it, or something like that, or
Yeah,
I remember he was one of the first ones to do it, but also too, want to say real quick, I don't think anybody's taking the belt off of Camille for a while. They're going to.
She's had it for a year.
Her. Yeah. I think they'll keep rolling with her. She's going to be, probably like a big signing or somebody, to take that belt off of her.
She's got to go on the honeymoon.
Yeah, it's true.
I think they've already been.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me call up Tom Latimer.
Yeah.
So, anyway, as he said, so he says he could catch the title in if he wanted to, but he teases that he could carry 2 titles at once. So he wouldn't cash it in, he would just go and win the other one. He noted that he doesn't have to follow the Lucky 7. He also calls Scion, who, if you don't recall, he turned heel, Adrian Adonis' so-called son. He calls him a great tag team partner and says they're going to make a statement. He also says he's running out of mountains to climb. And in the main event, Tyrus and Scion defeated the Ill-Begotten, which is Jeremiah Plunkett and Alex Taylor. So, they could be chasing tag team gold. They could be, Tyrus could be trying to go after that main event championship. It seems like there's a bunch of, coals in the fire there. We'll see.
Yeah. It looked very directional for a little while since I've been, back on board watching again. And then it was like once Cardona got hurt, now it's like everything's scrambled all of a sudden. Right? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like they're trying to find somebody to put the belt on, maybe give a push to, yada, yada. So it's a little all across the board. Like, I don't know. I kind of thought they'd go the safe route and put it back on Aldis because he was there and available. But
yeah, Murdoch was the most recent champion, right?
Yeah. I'm not mad at that either.
Yeah. So he's a 2-time now. And, dude, how does Tyrus have time for all this? Because he's also on Fox Business News and all that.
I forgot about that.
Like, I've never seen anybody else but him in a tracksuit and a backwards ball cap on Fox Business.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
It's hilarious to me every time I see it. And I'm just like, it's the Fuckosaurus on Fox Business.
Good stuff.
Somebody call his mama.
That's right. But that's all I got for NWA Power and Impact.
AJ, you're up, man. Let's get to Dynamite and Rampage so we can talk about Forbidden Door.
So
got that big card on Sunday.
So I'm going to fly through Dynamite and Rampage right now, even though this Dynamite was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I got a few things to talk about it on too.
Okay, so first up, I want to talk about the Chris Jericho versus Ortiz hair versus hair match.
Yep.
Couple of things. Chris Jericho gets the win. Which is whatever. It was ruined, but then saved again. So Fuego del Sol appeared out of nowhere, and he hit Ortiz with a bat. So that's what gave Jericho the win. And then he takes off his mask and it's fucking Sammy Guevara, whatever, dude.
Sure. Yeah.
Whatever. I hate Sammy Guevara.
Reunited.
Which is fine. Like, it's fine. The moment that I really did like is how Ortiz grabbed the clippers himself and cut his own hair. I was like, yeah, that's a fucking badass right there. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
You don't let the other douchebag do it. You get it and you do it yourself.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So in this setup, a rematch between the two factions for blood and guts, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Up next, I loved this too. Wardlow versus the Plaintiffs.
Yes.
Which was 20 security guards.
Sure.
Quotation marks.
Quotation marks are also St. Louis independent Midwest wrestlers.
Okay, so did you also like pause it to see if you recognized anyone? Because I did too.
Yeah.
And I couldn't recognize anyone, which bothered me a little bit. Like I was hoping to see
Dan the Dad was one. Soup Campbell.
So wait, Soup Campbell was in there? I didn't even see him.
There. Yeah, Mike Outlaw, Camaro Jackson was one of them.
Nice.
Yeah. I think Moses from Technical Difficulties that wrestles in Iron Spirit Pro. He was one of them.
See, I thought that I saw him, but I wasn't sure if it was him.
Yeah. And that was the ones that I wrote down. But yes, that was incredible. I love it.
Awesome.
I was like, look at these guys bumping for Wardlow.
I know, and it was great. And obviously, Wardlow goes through all of them.
Absolutely.
And he's very eloquent when he speaks. But it was just so much fun. Like it
was a great spot, I thought.
Yeah. Up next we have Dax Harwood versus Will Ospreay.
This was fun.
I loved this match. By the way, two members of the Glue Factory Wrestling. Just want to point that out. This match was fantastic. Like these two were phenomenal. Obviously, they have a history. I love Will Ospreay and AEW. I hope he sticks around longer than Forbidden Door. I have a feeling he maybe not, but while he's there, I'm going to enjoy the shit out of it, which I will. I love his what's his finishing elbow called? I can't remember it now.
I can't remember it either.
The slap shot. No. The slice. Slice arm.
The hidden blade.
What is it, Primo?
The hidden blade.
Hidden blade. Yes, there we go. Blade. Why didn't you say that earlier instead of?
I said it like 5 times. But you kept saying slice arm.
Bueller.
Slice arm.
Slice blade. Secret blade. No, hidden blade. It was awesome. Go watch it. I love this match. Up next, we have Jon Moxley meets Tanahashi, which is great. Moxley is a badass. Get on board, everyone. And after all this, we had All Atlantic Tournament match between Miro and Ethan Page. Match was great. Miro moves on.
It was. Yep.
I
agree.
So now I'm going to move on to the main event, which was the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express for the AEW tag titles. I loved the outcome, but I don't understand why you put it back on the Young Bucks. It made no sense to me. I mean, I get you need to put it on a heel team because, I mean, FTR is just going to take the belts anyways.
Yeah, that's why I think for that.
Yeah, that's got to be it, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. It's for that feud.
So,
like, looking back, weren't they originally going to put on the Hardys?
Yeah. That was
before the whole shindig went down.
Yeah.
Because the Bucks, Bucks Hardys they barely got going, so
before they had to stop.
Yeah.
The match was fine. Bucks get the win, which sure.
Yeah.
And then the awesomeness. Who do we have back? We have a little heel turn. Christian Cage.
About damn time.
I know. God, I love this so much when it happened.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Like they teased it for way too long.
Yes, something I meant to talk about like every week, and I forgot every fucking week, was every time like Jurassic Express would have a match with like other people in their corner as well. And say, like, for instance, I remember specifically it happened with Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy was like, "It's okay, Jungle Boy, it's okay." Christian was like, "Get off my boy."
Yeah.
He was super protective over Jungle Boy. I was like, he is gonna fuck him up one time, like eventually.
And he did. Turns heel on Jurassic Express. It was awesome. I loved it so much.
Yells at his mom and sister.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Captain Charisma makes a return. It was fucking awesome.
For all the peeps.
Good stuff.
You guys got anything for Road Rager here?
The last thing I wanted to say about Dynamite was Tony Storm beat Britt Baker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big win for Tony Storm.
That was a huge win. Yeah, huge win.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, well, it kind of was too. So that was nice. But that was all I got till we get to Rampage.
So Rampage, see, I didn't have a whole lot for Rampage because a whole lot didn't happen. We do have, Dante Martin versus Jon Moxley. The match was fantastic. It was clearly Jon Moxley putting the young guy through the ringers. Like, just being like, all right, this is, like, you're an up-and-comer, so I'm going to beat the fuck out of you, and you're going to try and beat the fuck out of me, and that's going to be the match. And it was great. It really was. Dante Martin's always fun to watch. Moxley did get the win, obviously. But it did a lot for Dante Martin. Like, I think he's going to stop looking good in defeat pretty soon here, and I think they're going to start pushing him. So I think this was like I think they were seriously got together, and Moxley was like, all right, I'm going to beat the fuck out of you, and you have to go with it. And Dante Martin was like, yeah, okay. And he delivered. So it was really cool. I liked it.
Yep. Almost like wrestling initiation.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. And establishing him as can take the punishment, bounce back, babyface shit,
And it really worked in that regard. The match was fine. It was fine, but it really, really worked. So up next is something that happened that I don't even know because it's a thing that I refuse to acknowledge. So Willow Nightingale. I want to talk about Willow Nightingale for a second. What do you guys think of her?
Cool.
I think she's got a great entrance music theme when she comes in. I think it's fun, and I don't know. I'm not a fan of hers yet, so to speak, or
I like her.
Or not yet. I don't know.
Last time I really saw her, paid attention to her, was I seen her on Ring of Honor Supercard, and I also saw her. She made an appearance on Impact when Deonna Purrazzo was doing the Open Challenge.
Yeah, I've seen her on the Indies.
I could not get Tamina out of my head when she was wrestling. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake! And the crowd seemed to like her, which, whatever.
She has more charisma than Tamina.
Yeah, everyone.
Oh, by far.
My Roddy Piper socks have more charisma than Tamina. So it was cool. Whatever. And then a bunch of people came in. Stokely Hathaway, who's awesome. There.
Yeah.
Chris Statlander. I love Chris Statlander. Made an appearance. So it was good. And then main event, Darby Allin versus Bobby Fish was just a cool match. It was fine. Like you said earlier, Darby Allin is always one match away from being injured for the rest of his life.
But man, let me tell you though, I love watching him dive through the ropes at 100 miles an hour. That is fucking fun to watch. I'm sorry. Thank you for doing that, Darby. But it's amazing to watch, man. It's like, ah!
Yeah, he's so good at his whole gimmick, the Daredevil doesn't care. And he pulls it off wonderfully. I think it's fantastic. But I worry every time that he has a match because fucking Jesus Christ. And of course, Sting. Sting is awesome.
And that was a quicker return for Sting than I thought. Man, he wasn't gone very long, was he?
No, it was not. I mean, I don't think he'll be back in any sense of the word yet.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, love Sting, so that was awesome. So quick, short Rampage, and both of these shows did an excellent job of setting up Forbidden Door, which is this Sunday.
Yeah. I got a couple things here real quick I wanted to say. So, if you guys notice, Swerve and Keith Lee already got beef. They're already questioning each other, so they might be breaking up soon.
Yeah.
Is Penta El Escuro? Is he like this Mexican warlord? Is this like what he's doing? Like,
I kind of think that's what they're going for.
Yeah,
but I didn't know.
It's like a little bit of a gimmick change. Like he's not talking as much. He's being a little more silent, and it almost looks like they're kind of like worshiping him a little bit, like kind of like Aleister Black a little bit as the leader too. So, but last thing though, AJ.
Yeah, there's something I didn't mention.
Bear Country and Leon Ruff.
Roughing it.
Is that not the 6-man tag team or match that you need in your life, team?
Yeah, but it was ruined by the fucking Gun Club and Max goddamn Caster. I was so angry.
It was, and I was like,
listen,
I want this tag right here so bad. Man,
I did too.
I want to see that again though.
I was so excited, and then out comes the fucking Gun Club, and yo, listen,
which is always good.
No, it's always awful, and I hate it. Also, I completely didn't mention, even though this was fucking amazing, Jay White. Jay White is
motherfucker and baddest in the world right now.
Fucking
the catalyst of professional wrestling,
and it's still my era.
That's right.
It's amazing.
Era.
It's a bad man.
All right. Speaking of era, let's talk Forbidden Door, baby.
Yes. Oh my God, I am so fucking excited for this pay-per-view.
This card, man. I'm like, man. Once again, man. Like, had this card been on Saturday night, I'd be there. But man, Sunday I couldn't pull. So I'm excited to watch this one though. Sunday night though.
So. What I think, here's my prediction for this pay-per-view. Like, it already appeals to the hardcore wrestling fans, the three of us, basically. But I think it's going to make casual wrestling fans into more hardcore wrestling fans. Like, into more like, holy shit, I love New Japan kind of fans.
Yeah.
And I hope it does, because this is going to be amazing. So up first, we have Jon Moxley versus Tanahashi, for the interim AEW heavyweight title. What do you guys think?
I'd love to see Tanahashi win it, but no way they're going that route. They're putting the belt back on Moxley.
Primo?
Oh, 100% I agree with Dirty. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah. It's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I am going to say, no, it's going to be Moxley. Like, they're going to put it back on Moxley, which is great. It's an interim title, so whatever. Jay White versus TBA for the IWGP World Heavyweight title.
Okay. So by the time this comes out, we'll already know who it was.
We'll know, yeah. Who do you guys think it's going to be?
I think it's going to be somebody from New Japan.
You think it's going to be a straight New Japan match?
He's from New Japan.
Yeah, I know. Like, is that like is that the rule? They got to do
they got to be crossover matches, right?
Crossover.
Oh, they also do. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he'd probably wrestle somebody from over there since he just won the belt.
See, initially,
man, I don't know. That's
so Bryan Danielson is on Dynamite tonight, and he's supposed to be addressing like his injury and how he's not going to be able to, make blah blah blah. So
Jay White interrupts. There you go.
So I think it might be Bryan Danielson, and if it is Bryan Danielson versus Jay White, that'll be okay, I suppose.
Dope.
Wrestling boner just through.
Primo, you know who it's going to be?
I know that it's not Bryan Danielson.
Boo!
Do you know who it is actually?
No, but I know the Bryan Danielson situation.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Is he out for a while?
You just want me to say it?
Yeah.
Well, you're watching spoilers. Everybody else will know by now anyway.
Yeah. So basically, all that I know is what I just read was that the latest match that was announced because Bryan Danielson came out and announced that he's not medically cleared for Forbidden Door or Blood and Goats. This is live as of right now. But he didn't provide a recovery timeline, but he announced that Forbidden Door match is Zack Sabre Jr. versus an opponent of his choosing. Brian Danielson's choosing.
Okay. Well, that'll be cool. So that'll make who fights Jay White? Zack Sabre Jr. versus whoever?
No. That's irrelevant to that.
No, that's two separate matches. How about Ricky Starks?
The Jay White thing will be revealed later, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be down with that.
Yeah, that'd be Ricky Starks versus Jay White? Or
I
Ricky
would like
Starks
that.
versus
Zack
Sabre Jr.?
No, Jay White.
Okay. That would be a good match.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that.
Okay.
But obviously Jay White's going to win whoever it is against. Up next, we have Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy for the IWGP United States title.
This is
I hope Will Ospreay just
demolishes
Orange Cassidy's face.
Yeah.
Like in every way. Like I hope it's a 7-minute burial.
It'll probably turn into some like Best Friends versus United Empire schmaz match.
I have had enough of Orange Cassidy. And like you're going against Will Ospreay. Like you can't do your whole whatever. It's Will fucking Ospreay. Like Jesus fucking Christ.
Will needs to win here, of course.
Yes. Up next, we have FTR versus United Empire, which is Great Okan and Jeff Cobb, versus Roppongi Vice, which is Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero, for the Ring of Honor World and IWGP Tag Team titles.
How about these go to somebody else? Because FTR is about to feud with Bucks.
Yep. That's why
I'm on
the Bung Yucks.
I'm gonna go with Roppongi Vice because they're kind of a crossover team. They were big in New Japan. They're recently reformed back together, wrestling AEW some. I'm going with Roppongi here.
I agree for that exact same logic.
Roppongi Vice.
Yes, I think because Trent Beretta has very little to do in AEW currently.
Yeah.
So I think they'll put a belt on him and send him. He'll go back to New Japan and fucking kill it for a while, and it'll be great.
That's another reason why I think the deal is a lot of these guys. Another reason why I think the Good Brothers just won the Impact tag titles because they're about to go over to Japan for a little tour and run too, and they're going to be taking those with them. So at least I think that's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, I agree with y'all on Roppongi Vice, by the way.
Up next, we have Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm for the AEW Women's title.
Thunder Rosa.
Not yet, Tony. Not yet. I'm going Thunder.
Yeah,
got a huge win over Britt Baker. Kind of legitimized her, but
that's good enough for now.
Yeah. You can sit down after that. Up next, we have Pac versus Miro versus TBA versus Tomohiro Ishii for the AEW All Atlantic Championship.
The final?
Yes, this is the final. Whoever's in the last spot is obviously being decided tonight.
Miro.
Yeah, I'm going Miro too.
Yep, me too. Absolutely Miro.
God's favorite champion needs to be
the Redeemer
again.
Yeah, it's because it's either going to be Malachi Black or Penta Oscuro in the last spot. So I'm going Miro. Absolutely. And then finally, Jericho Appreciation Society versus Minoru Suzuki, Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino. What do you guys think? They're going to fucking beat lumps into each other.
Yeah. Oh, no. I don't know. I'll say Jericho.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. Yeah. They're going to be kind of like the nastiest heels, I think, right now. So I'm stick with them.
I'm going to say Kingston and Party.
As am I. Because
I haven't given New Japan enough wins.
Yeah, it's true. Got to level them out.
Yeah.
I think Sammy Guevara is going to take the pin from Kingston and friends.
What if Sammy turns on Jericho?
Like a turn and a turn?
Like a hard turn. Like you thought I was coming back to be with you again, and now I'm on a hard turn. That'd be awesome.
Still not going to make him a face.
Right.
I mean, it's an attempt to make him a face, but I feel like right now he has such nuclear heat.
Yeah. Not the good kind of heat either.
Like not with me. I'm a mark for him, but like Yeah, I just think with the casual fan, he's still not over. He's currently got super heat.
I compare him a lot to Austin Theory. Only Austin Theory, I feel like, is doing a better job of being that kind of character than Sammy. Because Sammy Guevara, again, has go-away heat for me. Austin Theory has great heat for me. I'm like, yeah, I fucking hate you, but you're awesome.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, that's Forbidden Door. This card is amazing, and it's going to have some of the best wrestling that has been on TV in a long time, and I can't fucking wait. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I love this too because I love New Japan cards, but I'll be honest, some of my, I guess kind of drawback from New Japan has always been because like every match is 45 minutes long.
Yeah, they do have that build. And...
Yeah, so it makes, which, I love, but I can't watch every match that long. So when they do these kind of cards where I can still see New Japan guys, but, maybe in 15, 20-minute matches, not 45, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, I love this, man. So I'm super pumped. It's in Chicago, man. I'm hoping for some excitement, some surprises. Yeah, and I'm super pumped for it, man. Most of I've been excited in a while. Like, I'm more excited for this than SummerSlam.
Oh my God!
I don't even care.
We'll get to my thoughts on.
Yeah.
Well, SummerSlam isn't the next pay-per-view.
I know, right? Yeah, it's Money in the Bank, but still, like we should.
I feel you. I agree with you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I will say my excitement level. I talked about that earlier. It did raise a tick. Earlier I was like, meh, because I didn't take a full look at the card.
So really quick, if we weren't doing a podcast, I would abandon WWE.
Do we really have to cover this still?
Mm-hmm.
But
I was so angry that I was like, I'm done.
I text you guys when it happened.
Yeah.
I said we'll get to it. We will get to it, but I did say that their reflex in emergency situations fucking pissed me off because it was so stupid.
Yes. All right, so let's get to it. So let's talk about WWE, boys. SmackDown. Primo.
Smacking it down, baby.
Was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, boys. So
fitting, yeah.
We thought Vince was going to come out and talk about the situation going on with him, the lawsuit, yada yada. Vince is going to be on SmackDown. He's coming out, right when the show comes on. But basically, he comes out and says, "I'm here to remind you of the 4 words. Thank you for everything, yada yada. I'm here to remind you of the 4 words." Then, now, forever, together, basically saying like, we'll get through this together,
welcome to Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah, right, yeah, and then he said exactly what Primo did and left. Yeah, and that was
this was the entire thing. It took all of 30 seconds. Do you think that what's worse?
This
him not addressing anything, or the crowd knowing the situation and
cheering him,
totally putting him over. Yeah.
This was the worst fucking thing. One of the worst things that WWE has ever done. I hated this with a fire.
Now, like I mentioned to Dirty before the pod, being that it was announced that he was going to be on the pod, or excuse me, the pod. He ain't going to be on our pod. But yeah, he was going to be on Smackity Down later that night. Anyway, it was announced beforehand. And he came on right at the start of the show for all of 5 seconds. I feel like it was a quick ratings grab. That's basically what it was.
It worked too, but it made me.
I saw people in Squared Circle say, "I haven't watched WWE in years, but I'm going to tune in just for this."
Yeah,
right. Yeah, and it was basically nothing.
I hated it. I hated this. Like, this moment almost made me just be like, I'm done. I will see you guys in about a year on WWE.
It's like, is he going out to say, hey, I'm still going to show my face during all this? Or, hey, is it I'm not guilty? Or is it, hey, I'm just going out here to try to get in my last 2 Raws before I probably step down?
Look, man,
I mean,
we've seen his character on TV for forever. He is very much a what do you call those guys? Just a pig when it comes to women.
Yes.
Sure.
But I told you, or before the pod also, Dirty, that in my opinion, just because, like I said, I watched too many damn TV shows with powerful families in them.
Yeah.
That he announced he's stepping down from the CEO role so that Stephanie, his daughter, can be the CEO, and he's right over her shoulder still.
Yeah. Oh, he's still gonna call every shot on there.
Definitely still in the company. Like,
yeah.
He made it look, him saying he stepped down from the role made people think he's leaving. He's not going nowhere.
No, he's not giving up an iota of power in that company.
Right.
You know what? I hope that there's like a hostile takeover with Stephanie McMahon. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of her either, but I certainly don't think that in the middle of a hush money scandal, she would go out and jerk herself off in front of the entire WWE.
I still think that all the alliance talk is hilarious. Like, it took 21 years or whatever, and the alliance finally won. The invasion has come full circle.
Oh God.
Oh boy. All right. So, are you guys interested in a Corbin versus Pat McAfee feud?
Nope.
I
can see this being a SummerSlam match.
It will be, and nope. I love Pat McAfee, but.
Kind of.
Thinking.
I'll say kind of. I'm not against it because Corbin has a real beef there. He has some real gripe. I mean, McAfee has been calling him bum ass Corbin for a while.
A long time, yeah. So
True.
yeah. He's like they're former football players, all that kind of stuff. So that'll be all right. That'd be interesting. Raquel Rodriguez. They still calling her Raquel Rodriguez. Qualifies for Money in the Bank.
Yep, she did. But to backtrack, I just want to say maybe I'm also excited because I actually do like Baron Corbin. I'm excited to see him with somebody else.
Yeah, no more Madcap.
Yeah.
Also, they changed the name of Raquel Rodriguez's finisher, didn't they? Because the old one was called it offensive or something. What's the name of the new one?
Gringo Killer. That's homicide.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I don't know if they.
Last name now? Rodriguez.
Yeah. We'll come back to that. All right. So main event was Roman versus Riddle, of course.
Tejana Bomb.
Yeah.
Tejana Bomb.
Tejana Bomb.
Instead of the Chingona Bomb.
That's right.
So it was an awesome match. Roman won, of course, by a spear. Riddle can't challenge for the title allegedly now, while Roman is still the champion. So
he speared the shit out of Riddle.
Yeah, he did. It was like a springboard off of the ropes.
Like Riddle kind of went stiff for a second.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, he did.
This match was great.
It really was good.
It really was a good match.
It really was good. And then so as the bloodline goes to leave the ring, Brock Lesnar's music hits. He comes back, offers a handshake
so
to
at the
Roman.
time I was throwing my drink at the TV.
And then an F5 obviously ensued, and he runs off the Usos as SmackDown goes off, and once again, we got Lesnar versus Roman at SummerSlam. Let's hear your gripes, boys.
So, number one, it's not even for Money in the Bank, which is the very next pay-per-view. It's for SummerSlam. So we got to wait for this shit to get over till SummerSlam.
Yep.
Which is like in August, yeah. And it's a last man stand. So they added a stipulation. It's a last man standing match.
Sure.
But like I said, and a lot of people around the wrestling community said, like, in case of emergency, break glass, insert Brock. That's basically it.
Yep.
So at the beginning of the show, I was like this close to being like, all right, I'm fucking done with you, WWE. I'm just done. At this point, I was like, that's it. I'm done with you, WWE. There will be no more. I will sit here and make jokes while you guys do the WWE recaps. Have no idea what you're talking about and be just happy that I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I wasn't even angry. I was just like, It's like my brain shut off.
Listen to our podcast. What our podcast is good for. It'll let you know everything that happens. So
exactly.
Well, I do think that we have no bias for sure.
True. No bias whatsoever. Completely unbiased.
I'll judge them all for sure.
Oh my god.
So let's move on to Raw then, boys. We're on the University of Nebraska's campus for this one.
Oh, the Cornhuskers.
Cornhuskers, yeah. Carmella is your new
really quick before you guys start. I do have to say I was in my I can't even think of the word right now. I didn't watch it because I was so angry. So this is going to be new for me right now because I have no idea what happened.
So Carmella's the number one contender at Money in the Bank to Bianca Belair's Raw Women's title. After she won a fatal 5-way match, she pinned Liv Morgan. So she's now she stepped in for Rhea. Obviously, Rhea was the number one contender. So somebody to feed to Bianca, I guess, at Money in the Bank.
Carmella defeated Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Becky Lynch.
Correct.
You're kidding, right?
No, that was the 5 that was in the match. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. But more of that plays out later. Vince comes out once again in a strange, we just got done talking about it, but he comes out to basically tell us that John Cena's coming next week, and we already knew that.
Exactly. If you're watching TV, you see the commercials.
Yeah. And that was all he said, and he turned around and left.
Give himself a nice little.
He's like,
nice
it's
little
like before those two gorillas. Hey, watch this! I'm gonna go out here and say something.
Right.
And he just goes out there. He's like, "What can I do? Oh, John Cena's coming next."
I'll talk about John Cena.
Yeah, what cracked me up is like 2 seconds later, after he leaves the ring, they announced that Reigns Lesnar match is last man standing. Why did Vince not say that too while he was out? Like
right.
At least that's an announcement.
Exactly.
At least that's something we didn't know.
Right, because that wasn't announced officially at the end of SmackDown.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, so moving on, almost beat Riddle to qualify for Money in the Bank. In the Money in the Bank match.
This dude, when he puts his hand up in the air with his pointer finger up in the sky or whatever, his hand's extended, he could almost touch the belt without the ladder.
How funny would it be if he just walks up to he doesn't even get the
runs?
ladder. He just walks up. He's like, "I'll take that."
Yeah, right. He's got the little ladder.
They got to break out the Big Show ladder.
Seth Rollins comes out though.
Or he just has MVP grab it for him. Or he puts MVP on his shoulders.
Yeah, see? Now we're booking.
Sorry, I got excited.
That's okay. I was just going to say Seth Rollins comes out post-match. There we go. He throws Riddle out of the ring and then grabs the mic and says he will win Money in the Bank. And then after his promo, basically, I just summed all that up for you. He curb stomps Riddle, which is a pretty nasty one. So we might see a little Rollins-Riddle feud.
I was excited about this when I saw it. I had two things out of this. He said in that promo, I will be the one to take the belts off of Roman.
He said, I've got his number.
I agree. That's what I said. And then, secondly, I'm totally down for a Riddle versus Seth feud.
So, 2 things. Having not watched this. 1, Rollins versus Riddle feud. Fuck yes. That would be fantastic. I love both those guys. And 2, if Seth Rollins wins Money in the Bank, that might go a long way to repairing some of my hurt feelings over the last week of WWE. Because Seth Rollins with the Money in the Bank briefcase, fuck yes. That'd be amazing.
It's weird because there's a lot of people that aren't in the Money in the Bank. The men's Money in the Bank.
But it's going to be like almost. And it's because of course it is.
Right.
Happy Corbin.
So next up, boys, probably the funniest thing on Raw right now. Kevin Owens interrupted the Elias concert.
He talks like Elias. He sounds like Elias. Because that's Elias, okay?
Yeah, I mean, this has kind of gotten funnier because they made a video where Elias was on one side, Ezekiel was on the other. Video.
Wait, they sat on the couch together. Yes,
sat on the couch together. Yeah.
So did he have
that whole part was hilarious. Yes, but it was very well done. No, it was
well done. Yeah, it was very good. Yeah.
Also, they're not playing
he had the beard on, and he had how he used to put his hair up in the bandana.
Yeah.
You
could tell it was a fake beard, but
yeah,
it was very, very, very close. So he come out to do a concert. KO interrupts him. They end up getting in a scuffle. Elias hits KO with a guitar on the back, not Double J style across the head, but, across the back. But, so yeah, this made this really funny. Like, this was
how he had 3 guitars and he picked the one that hit him with.
Yeah, I picked the one to hit him with.
Gotta hit him with the gimmick one. He's not the honky tonk man.
Right.
True.
And then we got a small little flash. Is Ciampa gonna maybe be Miz's new tag team partner? Maybe,
dude. I don't know what's going on with Ciampa. He's doing this weird surprise attacks every week on random people.
Yeah.
So, but one thing you didn't
Hunter or something.
One thing about that Kevin Owens thing was afterwards he goes, because he's backstage and he's getting interviewed about it, and he's like, "I want a match next week, and I don't care if it's Elias, Ezekiel, or the little brother Elron."
Yeah.
So now it's like that's like the match announcement. It's Kevin Owens versus one of 3 people.
Right, yeah. It's going to be Ezekiel, Elias, or Elrod. One of 2. He was screaming Elrod, I think, towards the end. Yeah. AJ was on Miz TV, and then AJ beat Ciampa in a match later, and then he hit Miz with the Styles Clash. So it looks like maybe some kind of something starting there between AJ and Miz. But that was basically it up until we get to the main event, which this was kind of interesting to me. Asuka beat Becky to qualify for Money in the Bank. Basically, Becky loses it, goes crazy, goes nuts, starts tearing things up, trying to rip her hair out. She just looks defeated and pissed, and they show her kind of sitting down by herself, crying as the show goes off. So this says maybe a character change, maybe a little here or something.
So is she going to also get a doll that looks like her? And then she's going to be super protective of said doll and then go nuts when someone inevitably rips up said doll.
Yeah, we've seen this before, haven't we?
We might have, yes.
Or she could be
oh no,
female Seth Rollins, Joker, go psycho.
True. That was it for Raw. If you guys don't have anything, man, I got a couple notes for NXT here.
Just that supposedly, I think this week they're going to let AJ have another chance at trying to qualify.
You can't have a Money in the Bank match without AJ.
So I'm just like, dude, what the hell? Yeah. AJ Styles is having to fight his way into this match.
Sure. Why not? Make sense of that.
Give him the hardest road, make him barely qualify for it, and then he ends up winning it.
I agree. I mean? That's what I'm saying. I agree with that route because of that exact reason. It's something he hasn't done in WWE.
If AJ Styles ends up taking the belts off
Wrestling
of Roman
boner
Reigns,
for you? Yeah.
That would.
If he even won Money in the Bank, that'd be dope.
Chef's kiss.
I wouldn't be mad. So, all right. So NXT boys, Grayson Waller.
I'm bad at this. Waller.
He beat Solo Sikoa in the leadoff match here.
Why is Solo Sikoa losing? That's weird.
Because Grayson Waller's good, man.
Grayson Waller, he flew from the outside to the inside, then he jumped up and did this flying cutter thing.
Yeah, it's great. I
was
like
wild.
It. Yeah, it was cool. He's a great heel right now, and they're kind of facing Solo Sikoa at the moment. But great. They announced Great American Bash is in 2 weeks. It's just an elevated show that we already watch on Tuesdays. Von Wagner won again over Jeb Jepson or whatever that Josh Briggs tag team partner is. I think it's Jeb Jepson. Main event though, Tony D'Angelo versus Carmelo for the NXT North American title. Now the finish was, you guys remember, Santos Escobar and El Legado Fantasma are part of the family at the moment due to Escobar losing the match.
Stipulation,
Yeah, right. So the finish to this match was going to be Santos Escobar was going to throw brass knuckles to Tony. He was going to knock out Carmelo to use them. So Tony falls down over in front of Pablo, or I said Pablo. Santos. Pablo Escobar. Santos, and he's supposed to throw the brass knuckles over to him. Well, instead, he throws them over to Carmelo Hayes, who uses them to knock out Tony and gets the win 1-2-3. So it looks, and as the show goes off, Escobar and El Legado are walking up the ramp. So it looks like that is over, and we're going to go back to seeing a little family versus.
They never truly listened.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they never. They didn't follow orders the entire time.
No, they always spoiled whatever Tony had planned anyway. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. But I don't know. I'm kind of liking that storyline a little bit because I like Escobar and I like D'Angelo both. But
I just like how every time D'Angelo like talks down to Escobar, Wild and the other guy, they just look at him like they look at Escobar like, really, dude? Like, are we really doing this shit?
Yeah, right. I know it. All right, so that'll do it for our recap for the week, man. It's time to get to that dropkick discussion.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Havens, the Argyle assassin himself, giving them all the shivers.
This is the one and only Mike Hartenbauer.
This is Space Jesus Billy Starks.
This is referee Dan Perch.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. You can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
You're listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
Come celebrate pro wrestling right here on the Sit Down Marks podcast.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With Primo, DB, and AJ.
And you're listening to DB, Primo, AJ here on the Sit Down Marks podcast, the best podcast for professional wrestling.
All right, dropkick discussion today is Sting versus Vader from Starrcade 1992. Let's talk about this one. This was coined the King of Cable tournament finale between these two guys. This was on the Starrcade 92 Battle Bowl pay-per-view back in this day. So fun little note here before we start. You know, we heard Jim Ross a lot in this match. This was his last pay-per-view before going to the WWE in 1992. So this was kind of cool.
Wait, was it really? I did not know that.
Yeah, this was his very last pay-per-view with WCW before he moved on.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool to know. So getting to the match, this was a big match in their rivalry. These guys knew each other very well, obviously, as this match was kind of thrown together because this was a mess of a pay-per-view.
My God.
The main event was supposed to have been Ron Simmons versus Rick Rude, but Rick Rude got hurt, so instead they decided to do this Battle Bowl mess. These guys wrestled like 3 or 4 times, earlier in the night, and then they wrestled later at the end. So anyway, but yeah, both these guys wrestled each other earlier in the card to qualify for the Battle Bowl match that they wrestled after they had this singles match here. So I don't know, it was pretty wild. They went 17 minutes. Jim Ross, Jesse Ventura are the guys calling the match, which, kind of makes this match great because they really get a story over, and Vader is so agile to do a lot of the moves that a lot of men cannot do. So we see a lot of stuff from a big man here, and I thought Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura both did a good job here of selling both these guys. So Vader comes to the ring. He's got his red and black usual tights. He's got the face mask on. He's he's got Harley Race with him during this particular era. Sting comes out. He's got blue and white. The paint's already fading off his face because, he had already wrestled earlier in the night. So he's got the blue pants, white scorpion, white boots on the side. And so we're about to get started here, boys. What'd you see up until the match start here?
So this is a pay-per-view I remember very fondly because it's one of the ones that, so my mom was gone for, whatever night. So we had a babysitter, and my mom was like, okay, AJ and Michael can order Starrcade, and we were like, so we went fucking nuts. So I got to watch this. Like, we ordered. It was one of the first ones that I actually got to watch. It's like this one and SummerSlam when it was in England. But so this is a very fun show for me. So I was super excited to watch this again. And you were right when you called it an absolute mess, because it was. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I went through and watched the whole thing over again, and mainly to see the matches with Big Van Vader and Sting and them, like, that were earlier in the night. So they were both, well, obviously Vader's, neither of these guys are going to get tired. Like, they're both still going to be able to go after wrestling once already in the card. So it was great to see Sting's face paint, like, all like smeared off and stuff already. Like, he's already been through it. So I was super hyped for this match, and the show did a good job of that as well. Because, like, even though I've seen this pay-per-view like 10 times, I was still just as excited. It was great.
So I have the King of Cable and the King of Cable trophy. Awesome. Definitely would go over way more in 1992 than it would in 2022, 30 years
What's
later.
cable?
Exactly. Sure. Bunch of cord cutters around here. Nowadays it'd be like the Netflix or the Hulu title.
Yeah. It would. The digital world title.
We got Do-Rag Vader. Nice. Sting's face paint's already coming off before the match begins. And that's all I got up to the beginning.
All right, so let's talk about this match. Obviously, another WCW pay-per-view held in Atlanta, Georgia at the Omni. I forgot to stick that in there. But, so the match starts. They're feeling each other out. Vader says no pain as Sting hits him with lefts and rights, and Vader's basically shaking him off. So a rough start for Sting as Vader is dominating early, even pretty much gorilla pressing Sting over his head and dropping him on the ropes. And Sting finally gets Vader off his feet and then clotheslines him outside the ring, as that's how they kind of like start the match. So big splash from Sting outside onto Harley Race and Vader as they both go back outside the ring for a little while, and then they both get back in the ring, and they both kind of take over small moments of control throughout the match. So nothing real big here, but Sting gets a probably one of the coolest spots in the match. Sting sort of gets a superplex on Vader. Vader, I think he's actually on like the second rope when he gets him on it, but still cool nonetheless. And then that leads to a Scorpion Deathlock, but Vader gets to the rope and gets out of it. So, but after that, they go back outside. Sting misses a Stinger Splash on Vader, and he hits the guardrail instead. And this is where the match kind of turns here. So, Sting is obviously hurt. Vader starts to take over. Vader starts to beat up on Sting. Punches, suplexes, splashes, more punches, kicks. Vader is basically unloading the toolbox on Sting here. Then this is where the real storyline starts. And this is what I think kind of makes this match really awesome. Vader is basically just punishing Sting, right? With these hard, club-like shots with his punches, and where, the referee is almost looking like he's going to jump in and stop the match because Sting is taking so much of a beating, right? Like he's just, Vader's just taking over. You hear Ross and Ventura say, if this was a boxing match, the referee would have stopped this a long time ago, right. But this is professional wrestling, and, that kind of stuff. So, Sting is roping open, just taking basically everything Vader's giving him. And, Sting is hurt, but he's doing the old Rocky. He's telling him, bring it on, just bring it on, and he's covering up when he comes over there, Vader's giving him more shots. So the comeback for Sting starts when he gets Vader on like a fall away slam, a Stinger splash from the top rope, but Vader kicks out on two. Now, Harley finally jumps in and distracts Sting. Vader chokes slams Sting and splashes Sting again from the top rope, but doesn't quite get all of it. And you once again hear Ventura and Jim Ross say, Vader's starting to get frustrated because here's another splash from the top rope that he didn't quite get all of. So as we hear them say this is the finish because Vader goes back up to the top rope for what they say is the third time for another splash. Sting catches him, which is awesome mid-air, like catches him mid-air. And then it kind of turns to like somewhat of a power slam. Yep. But Sting rolls into it for a 1-2-3 for the win. That's how it finishes up. Sting is presented with the King of Cable trophy by Jesse Ventura. So, talk to me about this match, guys.
I love this. Okay, we'll get to that later. So, first of all, Vader puts a beating on Sting that you just don't see much anymore. Like he body slams him so many times that I don't even know how many it was because I turned into like 10-year-old me again during this match where I was like, no, don't do that to Sting.
Not Mr. Sting.
No, he's my favorite. Vader. That's what I did when I was 10. Shook my fist at people. But yeah, this whole entire match was just Vader beating the shit out of Sting and Sting being like, nope, give me more. Like, come on. I'm still fine. Do some things. And it's amazing that, there's so many cool spots, like the top rope suplex, Harley Race getting involved, which Harley Race taking a bump is still kind of cool because he's like 102 at this point. So I'll skip to the end because the whole thing basically was Sting gets beaten and won't quit, and again,
pummeled, yeah.
And 10-year-old me, because it's well documented that Sting was my favorite wrestler growing up, and he's still one of my favorite wrestlers.
It's in the history books.
Yes, it is. It's in the annals of Sit Down Mark's lore.
That's right.
So, like as a kid, I've never hated someone more than Van Vader and loved someone more than Sting, and like I just was so behind Sting, and when he caught him, because it was a catch. Like, as a kid, I didn't think much of it, apart from this is so awesome. I can't, yay, Sting, he fought back, and no, you can't beat Sting. He's Rocky with blonde hair. Vader, blah, blah. But as an adult watching that, I was like, okay, so Sting had one match already in the night. This went like 17 minutes, and he's still able to catch 450-pound Van Vader and turn it into like a power slam type dealy. It was like the coolest thing just fucking ever. And that's what I have up until the 1, 2, 3. So
I had from after the entrance, after we got Do-Rag Vader and Messy Face Sting, we had, so I just wrote that military press or gorilla press, whatever you want to call it, where Vader threw Sting across the ropes twice. Looked so dangerous.
I know, right?
Like it looked so sketchy because he threw him with such force. If Sting wasn't such a pro, like he couldn't, he had to catch himself.
Sure.
Jesse Ventura says, sometimes it's smart to be a quitter. And I said, no, sir. No, it's not. It's never good to be a quitter. I said, I know Sting is fighting Vader here. Like, don't get me wrong. He's Sting and that's Vader. But they're really downplaying Sting's strength. And I said, he was massive. Don't they remember he was a Blade Runner?
Yeah, right. He was.
Like, Sting was huge. That just tells you how much bigger Vader was.
Right. Absolutely.
And, like, even think of it in today's wrestling. Look at him next to Darby Allin. Sting is giant next to Darby Allin.
Yeah.
And Sting looked like Darby Allin next to Vader.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He did.
So, Vader was choking Sting, like bare hand, choking Sting around the throat, right in front of the referee. Ventura said, that just thought that was funny. Ventura said, "That's got to be depressing as hell when you do the move and the other guy is still up first before you."
Right. Yeah.
Vader smacked the ref at one point. Should have been DQ.
DQ.
Because he was like fighting Sting in the corner, and the ref was like, "Hey!" He like smacked him to get him out of the way, and DQ. And he choke slammed Sting before they really knew what choke slams were back in the day, and I just thought that was an interesting choke slam because it wasn't quite a choke slam, but it was. And then on the first top rope splash that he did, he smushed Sting.
Smushed.
He splatted him.
What a great word.
I felt so bad. Like, I don't want to be... Like, you really gotta trust Vader, right?
Vader, who was known for being herdy in the ring.
Yeah.
Smushed him.
He smushed him. And then afterwards, that counter into a power slam for the victory was really nice to crown Sting the king of cable, king of Netflix and Hulu. The 3 count... Well, although I will say, even though I was going for Sting in this, and maybe it's because of that shove that Vader gave him.
Sure.
But that 3 count was kind of fast.
He was getting his comeuppance.
and then I said that afterwards, when Sting received the trophy, it was a very babyface, like, rah, 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 we went and got him promo from Sting.
Fuck yeah. The Peacock, King of Peacock.
King of Peacock. That is where I watched it. Yeah, Peacock.
All right, boys. So we've watched it. We reviewed it. It's time to smelly mark rate it. AJ, where are we going?
So last week was one of my lowest smelly mark ratings. This week is going to be one of my highest smelly mark ratings. I mean, just because it had everything for me. It had my favorite babyface of all time. Had the nostalgia factor for me because, again, got to order it. And it was just the best white meat babyface of all time, being the best white meat babyface of all time. One of the best, like, monster heels of all time, being one of the best monster heels of all time.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm going to give this 9.25 smelly, stinky marks.
Primo.
Okay. I'm not going to go near as high. But I got to say, for me, I liked it. I mean, Surfer Sting was dope. Vader was also really cool. Extra points. I would give Vader an extra half point for the do-rag. But for me, overall, 6.5 smelly marks out of 10.
For me, I'm going higher because, I mean, this match had everything, man. It had the white meat baby face. It had the heel. It had a very well laid out storyline. They had the crowd. We had agility from a allegedly 450-pound man that they kept saying. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? From Vader. And an awesome finish, awesome spots, man. I don't see how it gets too much better in a match, other than, probably just being in the time. I went 8 and 8.5 just because, I mean, this match basically had everything, it maybe lacked a little bit of excitement if I had to be hypocritical, but
take it back.
I'm going 8.5, but this is one of the best matches, I think Sting and Vader had together for sure.
Yeah. I think it's because I didn't get to order it when my mom bought me a babysitter.
It was great.
Yeah. I probably loved this match more when I was 17 in 92, than now. I'm a little more critical of it now, but I don't know. Like it's hard to be critical because it's pretty awesome.
3-year-old little Primo there. Just,
hated it.
2 notes. Go ahead.
Didn't hate it. It was a 6.5.
Yeah. No, I mean 3-year-old Primo.
That's kind of low though. That's for this match. That's pretty low.
Yeah, I feel like your subjective opinion is wrong.
Yeah.
I think part of that for me, like, I didn't like how I told you, I didn't like how they were downplaying Sting's strength so much. He's a strong ass dude.
Yeah, and his whole career he was
one of the Blade Runners. Like, come on.
He was with the Dingo Warrior.
He can lift up fucking Vader, obviously.
Yeah.
2 notes I thought about this. Yeah, Vader. Remember Christian Rose told us he wrestled Vader, so I thought about that was pretty cool.
Super cool.
And the last thing is the Battle Bowl that they had after this match. The great Muta won.
Yeah. 10-year-old me was horrendously disappointed.
Yeah, I bet it did.
When I was a
kid.
It
did. It probably disappointed a lot of people. I'm disappointed now looking back. Like, really, Muta?
The great Muta? Why?
Great Muta? Yeah. So anyway, but that's the Dropkick discussion for this week, boys. Next week is our final Starrcade match. We are headed to Starrcade 1998. We got a Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera, and Billy Kidman 3-way cruiserweight dance. So it's going to be awesome. That's going to finish up our month of Starrcade matches. So let's get now, AJ, let's go over to the MMA picks for the week. So let me start off by saying Primo, his match got canceled. So his record will stay the same at 12-11. The guy that Primo had picked next to him come up with some sort of injury or something like that.
The guy that I picked did not. He's not the one that backed out.
Oh, is that
just for the
guy?
record there?
Yeah. Still doesn't result as a win though.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to AJ then. AJ, you were 48-44 coming into this week. You picked Calvin Kattar to beat Josh Emmett. Let's see if you got that one right.
You've been on quite the win streak there, 48-44. What was that noise for? Well, you know.
Yeah, gotcha. Fuck you and your foreshadowing.
All right, AJ. So that'll drop you to 48-45. We got to get you to 50 because once you get to 50, I got a brand new game for you.
Oh,
so
you're gonna be the new gambler guy.
You got aspirations. Okay?
Yes, I do. Okay, it's business time. Okay,
yeah, it's business time. All right, so let's talk about this week, man. You're picking UFC lightweights, a couple low-rated lightweights. Let's start off with the number 11, Arman Sakurian. He's 18-2, 25 years old. He's 5'6", 155 pounds with a 72-inch reach. Now he is fighting a number 12, Matus Gamrot, who is 20-1. A 31-year-old, 5'8", 155 pounds with a 70.5 reach. So these guys are very similar, except basically Arman has 2-inch reach longer, basically.
It's so weird because Arman is 2 inches shorter, but he has 2-inch longer reach.
Right.
It went off his height and went to his arms.
It did.
He's also six years younger.
So for this bout, I'm going to go with Gorgon Grassroot, whose name I forgot his name already.
Gamrot?
Gamrot.
Matus Gamrot?
Matus Gamrot.
I love that anyway.
Gargoyle.
I'm going with Matus Gangrel.
All right, Primo, you are 12-11, man. Let's see if we can get you back on the dub side. You're looking at that card this week, man. Who you like?
I am. I'm looking at that card at that bantamweight matchup down there. It's one of the openers, and I'm going with Umar Nurmat. We did this earlier. Umar
Nurmagomedov.
Nurmagomedov?
Who is Khabib's younger brother?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's okay. That's where I heard that name from. Like,
Nurmagomedov. Yes.
Yeah, he's a stone cold killer too.
Yes,
so
I am going for him.
A good pick there. All right, good deal. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, I got a nice little new game for AJ once he hits 50, but I'm going to make him earn it before we get there. So before we switch it up. So
fair.
A new one. All right, so let's get moving on here, boys. It's time for promo school.
You're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast, and I'm the king of Catterday, and it's Gary fucking J.
Side note, go check out Gary J's on St. Louis Anarchy's YouTube channel if you had a chance. He's got like an hour-long documentary on there about Gary J, who was a former guest of the pod, like you just heard. So go check that out. Quick little plug there. But back to promo school. So I thought about, the Doctor of Thuganomics would be a good one to bring back. Well, instead of going back to the 90s or 2000s, I decided to go back to 2012 when Cena and The Rock were feuding with each other. And Cena did a little bit of a throwback here, and he cut a promo on The Rock as the Doctor of Thuganomics. So this is from March 12th, 2012. So just a little over 30 years ago.
Rock wanted me to write his song tonight, but I would never be his mouthpiece. Because Rock's like LeBron James. He took his talent straight down to South Beach. And for the past few weeks, Rock's been legitimately pissed. If you get stuck singing your song tonight, Rock, it's all in the wrist. Could we please have a week where you don't come out here and choke? You may be G.I. Joe this summer. Right now, you're a G.I. joke.
G.I. joke.
Not bad. Not bad.
Ever since I opened my mouth about you, you've been begging me to back off. So if Rock and Dwayne are the same person, I think y'all both are jack-offs. And after April 1st, you won't be making no more movies. You're going to need surgery on your face just like you had it on your boobies.
Boobies.
Those popping pecs, they had more work than a locker room full of divas. I got a gift for Rock tonight. I'm going to give him a Cleveland steamer. Team Bring It, he's Team Lost It, and the truth is getting scary. Because they weren't chanting Rocky last week, they were chanting Tooth Fairy. Keep making fun of this Fruity Pebble Rock, because I ain't even close to sick of it. I'm Mr. Kung Pao Chicken. You just Miami fried chicken.
He said chicken shit.
Yeah, it was the S word. That's what it was.
And no, I don't have balls, but I got something in their place. I'm going to beat your ass at WrestleMania and put my nuts dead in your face.
So, just out of curiosity, John Cena did say he was going to shit on The Rock's chest, right? Like that was
absolutely
okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
just wanted to make sure.
And put his nuts in his face.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
He's really degrading The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have some nuts and have some poo on
Oh,
your
well, if
fake
you
boobs.
notice, like, through, I'm like, so Dr. Thuganomics is my favorite iteration of John Cena. And a lot of his raps have to do with nuts or balls.
Yeah, a lot of them. A lot of them.
Yeah, they do. Yep, they do. But nonetheless, great promo there from the Doctor of Thuganomics. And yeah, that was, I thought that was pretty funny when I ran across that one. So that was a good one there. All right, it's time to move on. Let's talk to Chris Slammer. Wait a minute. No, you missed it.
Leave this in, please.
Yeah. Yo, this is Slammer, and you're listening to Primo, DB, and AJ at the Sit Down Marks. And what you gonna do when Slammer Mania runs wild on you, brother?
All right, so recently we had the chance to talk to Chris Slammer. He is going to be at CCW this weekend in a battle royal at the Super Show, and he was gracious enough to chat with us on Father's Day just a couple days ago about his career being a UPS driver. He lives the gimmick, man. He is Chris Slammer 24/7. He's always drinking those Bang energy drinks, delivering packages. I had fun talking to him, man. Chris, and I mean, my God, he had more memorabilia, I think, than I might have seen anybody have before.
That room was a museum. It was amazing. I went to live in there.
That's exactly the word I was going to use for it, was museum.
Museum? Yeah, it was.
Yes,
it was so awesome.
It's fantastic. That's one of those things, like, you know how you always hear the joke about how when I pass away or whatever, my wife better not steal my guns. Well, that's his situation with wrestling memorabilia. He has a ton of it.
A ton.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He is a big collector, and it was really cool to get to talk to him, especially after I was excited to just meet him. Now we got to talk to him and learn more about him here. So here's our interview with CCW wrestler, Midwest professional wrestler Chris Slammer. I'm looking forward to, especially after this interview, I'm looking forward to really talking to, seeing Chris again this weekend at the CCW Super Show. But it was cool to just hear some of the crazy stories being a UPS driver, and it's great to see that he's getting more bookings now in more and more places. And it was cool, man. And especially since I didn't know a lot about Chris going into this interview. So, going away from it, I knew a ton more about him. And, Dylan had talked to us about him before, and just a really cool, down-to-earth guy, man. It was cool to catch up with him.
Yeah, for sure. I thought he was a really, genuinely nice guy. And like you said, we mentioned the whole gimmick thing, and he corrected us quickly. Ain't no gimmick, brother. He lives it.
Yep.
That's what I think one of the things that I loved about Chris so much is the fact, his enthusiasm it's not a show. He's that much of not just he's a part of the business, obviously, but he's also a fan of the business, and it comes across in his whole way of being, and it's really, really awesome.
He's also a great follow on social media.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely follow him. He plugs all that. And plus, too, to hear that he still shows up, puts the ring together, he just loves it, brother. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just loves it. You know what I mean? And so it was cool to catch up with him. Can't wait to see him this Saturday at CCW Super Show in Cape Girardeau. So, we'll be talking to Chris again sometime soon. And I'm sure he's going to be winning that Battle Royal here coming up this Saturday. All right, AJ, if you're ready, man, it's time to close the show.
This is Sabotage, and you're listening to Sit Down Mark's podcast.
Wasn't expecting that for some reason. We've been doing this for many, many months. That still caught me off guard. Oh my God. Please listen to us right here on YouTube, or watch us on YouTube right here, starting around 7-ish every Wednesday night. Also, catch us on all the various podcast platforms, such as Spotify and Apple. All the other ones as well. And leave us a 5-star review, or not, just leave us some sort of review, because if you hate us, let us know, and we will try to take your criticisms into account and be better for you, the fans. Also, we have merch. Go to tpublic.com.
It's on sale right now.
Apparently, it's on sale right now. I've been so informed that it's
started on
right
Wednesday, so hopefully by this comes out, it'll still be on sale. 35% off. That's like $13 t-shirts.
You heard the man. 35% off at tpublic.com/stores/sit-down-marks for all your t-shirts, sweatshirts, baby clothes, mugs, pens,
baby clothes,
all the things.
Bibs,
buy some stuff.
Masks for winter.
That site, once again, is tpublic.com/stores/sit-down-marks. Also, one more thing before I stop yapping. Catch us every Friday on SportsWire Online Radio, right before the
number one.
That was a really good one. Thomas Bryce Show, around 6:15 or so every Friday, and replays throughout the week.
Primo, give us that beautiful preview of next week, my dude.
All right, dude. Let's get it, dude.
Let's get it, dude. Put that on a cracker, dude.
Put that on. Dude, you must watch the same stuff. I know exactly what you're talking about, dude. That's so funny. Hilarious. All right, preview next week.
Fitting to learn y'all.
That's right. Last part of the month already. So we're going to close it off by reviewing Rey Mysterio versus Juventud Guerrera, Juve Juice, baby, versus one of my favorite cruiserweights, the innovator of the Shooting Star press, Billy Kidman, from Starrcade 98. Plus, we'll break down our predictions and get ready for your WWE Money in the Bank. And to cap off the month, I'll try to persuade you to join my romantic novel book and green tea book club that meets once a month. But if that doesn't work, tune in, because making its return, Squared Circle Questions, baby. Thank you all. Let's chat about it next week. This has been your 3-time champ, Primo.
I didn't know you had a book club.
He does. And a green tea book club, too.
A green tea book club.
Do you serve cucumber sandwiches at this book club?
Yes.
Yeah.
Read Sense and Sensibility and Atonement and other Victorian era novels.
It's romantic novels too, and this is right before the passion parties.
Trivia time, boys. Trivia time. Do you know why we're playing Squared Circle Questions next week?
Why are we playing Squared Circle Questions next week?
Because next week, Squared Circle Questions is 1 year old, boys. 1 year old is the anniversary. Our very first game.
I love it.
We started playing.
Squared Circle. It lasted the test of time.
It has.
What games we got on this show? We got Squared Circle Questions, Last Man Standing,
Music Class.
Yep.
Those are all the three. We got some good ones. Those are good.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna come up with some more.
Yeah. We are. And then also, I want to say one more time, thank you to Chris Slammer for being on the pod. We really do appreciate it. Thank you to CCW for having us this weekend. Boys, if y'all got anything here? All right. Happy Forbidden Door weekend, everybody. Enjoy that. We'll be back next week to talk about those results. And it's going to be a big card. I think there's going to be a lot of implications coming out of this one, man. So, I'm excited for it, man. If y'all are ready, Primo, 3-time champ, is ready. Everybody have a good weekend. AJ, take us home, my brother.
Come on.
The market is expanding, boys. Not only do we have Thump edible. I fucked that up. All right, take two. The market is expanding, boys. Not only do we have Thump loincloths, we have Thump edible loincloths.
Why is it loincloth?
Strawberry?
And cucumber melon. Because everybody wants to eat cucumbers and melon. Especially together. I wonder if anybody even listens to these. You know,
they go well with the book.
I know they do.
But do they cut it off before they get to here?
I hope.
When they hear that you say AJ, hit them with it, then they're like, "All right, it's over."
Yeah, I got it.
So episode 69. If you're still listening right now, tell first person to message us that they listened on episode 69, and you got to say Thump loincloth. And we're gonna send you a free t-shirt.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cucumber melon.
Yeah, cucumber melon's the password.